Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. A blessed night of Friday, sorry, of Laylatul Nisf min Sha'ban. These days, either tonight or tomorrow night. Mercy, love, peace, perfective beauty upon you all and upon your loved ones. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all of you are seeking from the sustenance of this night, from the saints, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the soul of the beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I wanted to actually continue in these brief moments discussing the light of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to actually continue discussing from this blessed book, the Ibriz of Sidi al-ʿAziz al-Dabbagh. May Allah sanctify his secret. I feel pulled to him, and so I wanted to continue sharing some reflections from this ocean that is the Ibriz, the pure gold. He says that, may Allah be pleased with him, that witnessing the Prophet ﷺ is a heavy affair. Meaning, witnessing him, meaning to see the Prophet ﷺ. Whether that be in a vision, most probably he's talking about in a waking state, where a person, the witnesser, the person who does the witnessing, who sees the Prophet ﷺ in a waking state, witnesses him not only from his ruh, from his spirit, but also from his that, meaning his essence. And so his body has to be prepared. And so for that reason, he radiallahu anhu says that witnessing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, perceiving him, is a heavy affair, and the matter is great. And he says that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give the servant, the ʿAbd, the power, the servant would not be able to withstand it. And then he gives an example. He says, imagine if a strong man, a great man, within whom, inside this man, was combined the power of 40 men. 40 men. And each of them is able to, and he uses an example, he's able to take the ear of a lion, meaning he can wrestle with a lion and not be defeated, meaning the person is each of these 40 men is that strong, and then those 40 men are their strength combined is in this person. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would appear all of a sudden to this man in all of his hayba, in all of his presence, in all of his beauty, in all of his majesty. Then that man's liver would instantly burn, and his essence would instantly melt, and his spirit would leave his body, because of the majesty and the presence of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And even so, with all of that majesty, there is in that noble witnessing act of sweetness and desire what cannot be described and what cannot be enumerated. And he says, indeed, for the people who are able to gain this witness, are able to see the Prophet ﷺ, it is better for them and more sweeter to them than entering paradise. And he explains why. He says, because a person who enters paradise is not given all of the desires and all of the blessings in paradise. Every person who enters paradise gets either a special rank of paradise or gets a specific blessing from paradise. But this is not like seeing the Prophet ﷺ, because if a person achieves this blessing of seeing the Prophet ﷺ, then that person has been, he says, his essence, his exact words, Sidi al-ʿAziz, he says the essence of that person has been given to drink from all of the blessings of the people of paradise all at once. All at once, just by seeing the Prophet ﷺ. And as soon as he sees the Prophet ﷺ, the person who sees him is able to taste the sweetness and the color of everything that the people of paradise find in paradise and more. And then he says, at the end, he says, and this is only little in describing the rank of the one for whom paradise is created from his light, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ennoble him and increase his rank and stature. Sallallahu ala sayyidina habibina wa rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. And this is what Sidi al-ʿAziz al-Dabbagh is saying in the breeze here, is actually the end of wilayah. The end of the path. If it is the path of knowledge that you're undertaking, if it is the path of public service and serving humanity that you're taking, if it is the path of worship that you're taking, if it is the path of asceticism that you're taking, then we all have to realize that the end of that path and the final motivation of that path is to be fully and completely drenched, intoxicated, drunk, in love with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. There is no act of worship that is sweeter to the saint who has reached the end of the path than witnessing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if you are what are the various reasons that a person might do an act of worship or seek knowledge or do public service? If you're going to say the ultimate objective is getting nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we can easily say that nothing will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than seeing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because as soon as you lay eyes upon that face, upon that noble face, upon that beautiful face, the most beautiful face that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, and if you are even more blessed than that, that is nothing. For you to lay your eyes upon him is nothing for him to lay his eyes upon you. If he lays his eye upon you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will be given ranks of nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more than what you could have achieved on your own if you were to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for eternity, if you were to study all books of knowledge for eternity, if you were to serve humanity for eternity, if you were to be if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created 1,000 worlds like this one, and you became a zahid and acidic in all of them for 1,000,000 years, you would not be able to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with an atom's worth of what you are able to get to closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam looks at you for a blink of an eye. This is the reality of our deen. This is the rank of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's why the awliya, they said the paths to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are many. They're innumerable. He subhanahu wa ta'ala has opened the door of fadl and jud upon his ibad, that he gives them many doors to enter upon his presence. But the fastest and the quickest and the surest way is that you delegate your affairs to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you fall in love with him. That's it. There is no other way. You fall in love with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will take you, as we mentioned yesterday. This is what Sidi Abdul Qadir al-Jilani says. Qaddasallahu sirruhu. He says the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who cleans you, who combs your hair, and who takes you to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the sooner you begin with that motivation and that niyyah, and upon that path of love, the sooner you will get to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you will realize, once you start and you fall in love with the Prophet ﷺ, that you're already there, that he's already taking you to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us in this night or the next night, in whichever night people are celebrating, and inshallah taking taking heed of the night of the Nisf of Sha'ban, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to witness the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that night, in Ramadan, in this life, in the hereafter, in every waking state, inshaAllah. And this is not too difficult for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.